The movie starts with a research team in the Namib Desert of Africa. The team consists of 3 people named Clive, Harvey, and Paul. Clive shares that he discovered a potential location to find diamonds, which excites the team as they are tasked with finding valuable materials. They set out on their truck to reach the location indicated on the map. Upon arrival, they are disturbed by the strange sight of bamboo sticks standing in the desert, one of which has a peculiar mask on it. Determined to find the diamonds, they get off the truck despite the eerie atmosphere. Paul notices a boulder and believes that the diamonds might be hidden underneath it. He starts pounding on the boulder with a hammer and successfully breaks it, revealing a deep hole. As Paul peers into the hole, he is suddenly attacked and killed by a bizarre creature. The scene then shifts to Colombia, where Dr. Zach and other scientists are struggling to save their colleagues trapped in a lab. The lab's temperature is rapidly rising due to a system glitch, and the scientists' lives are in danger. Dr. Zach manages to fix the glitch, saving everyone in the lab. Impressed by Dr. Zach's skills, the boss appears and commends his efforts. He informs Zach that he is needed at another site, which happens to be the African desert where the 3 other scientists were conducting their research. Zach is left in the desert after a taxi ride and encounters an officer who escorts him to the mining company's base. At the base, Zach meets officers Johan and Mickey. Mickey inspects Zach's luggage and questions him about a machine he carries, capable of detecting water and strange frequencies deep in the sand. Meanwhile, another officer named Titus enters the room holding a dead snake. As Mickey tries to enter Zach's name in the diary, she realizes it's missing, only to discover Johan secretly concealing it in his pants. This action angers Officer Carl, who attacks Johan in response. In the next scene, Zach joins a group of officers in a truck as they set out to find the 3 scientists from the beginning of the movie. They carry supplies for several days, unsure of how long their desert expedition will last. Magda, a female driver, operates the truck. Before departing, an old man gives Titus a locket with a skull similar to the one they saw earlier on a spike. During their journey, they come across 2 skeletons and numerous bones. While some suggest these might be the remains of Clive and Paul, Mickey dismisses the idea, as they died several years ago, and skeletons couldn't have formed so quickly. Carl suggests that Harvey might be responsible for their deaths, as his body isn't among the remains. Titus then spots footsteps, and they decide to follow them. As they proceed, they realize the footsteps are of 2 different types. Upon reaching the location where the scientists were last seen, Zach notices a strange skull mask, resembling the one in Titus's locket. This unnerves Titus, who urges everyone to leave immediately. Back in the truck, they encounter another skeleton, likely belonging to Harvey. Carl insists on continuing their search for the truth, but Magda refuses to drive at night. They park in the desert and settle down to sleep. Unable to rest, Zach goes out on his skateboard, and Mickey joins him, informing him that his machine has been beeping for a while. They both notice that the 3rd man's skeleton is now missing, despite having seen it earlier. Carl becomes suspicious of Zach and confronts him, but Zach maintains that he is merely a scientist collecting data. Titus shares a tale about a creature that consumes human flesh, leaving only bones behind, but Carl dismisses it as a fabrication. The next morning, the team resumes driving, and Carl instructs Magda to follow a trail indicated by Zach's machine's strange frequency readings. When they spot a weird creature moving around, Carl shoots it down with his sniper. To their surprise, the creature disintegrates into pieces upon being shot. Arriving at the location where the creature fell, they find the missing skeleton from the previous night. Carl collects the skeleton and places it in his truck. However, a fire breaks out in the truck later, which Titus manages to extinguish, but the truck sustains significant damage. One of the officers estimates that it could take a week to repair it. Mickey attempts to contact the base using the radio but gets no response. They hope that the company will send a rescue team after a couple of days if they don't make contact. For the next 2 days, they decide to camp at the spot. Meanwhile, Johan frantically drives through the desert, searching for the team. At night, Zach's machine starts beeping again, indicating the presence of the creature nearby. Kurt is attacked by the creature while inside his tent, and Titus attempts to save him but arrives too late. The creature, comprised of a swarm of ant-like insects wrapped around the bones of its victims, continues to wreak havoc. In the next part of the story, Titus tries to defend Kurt from the creature but gets attacked himself. Carl's bullets have no effect on the creature, and they realize that it fears fire and oil. Zach comes up with a plan to protect themselves by using oil to keep the creature away. However, tensions rise among the group, and they decide to split up in search of help. They encounter a sandstorm and dangerous acid-spewing ants, and Magda gets killed by the creature wearing her face as a mask. The three survivors, Carl, Zach, and Mickey, eventually hear voices on the radio and follow them to the location where the three scientists originally came to find diamonds. They discover the Yellow Queen, an ancient creature believed to be older than dinosaurs. Johann, who is involved with the mining company, captures them, suspecting them of having killed the others for the diamonds. They manage to escape, and the group decides to stop the Yellow Queen's plan to create a colony of creatures. They head to an old mine where they believe the Yellow Queen is creating her colony. Carl gets trapped under a steel bar but is rescued by Zach and Mickey. In a daring plan, Zach diverts the creature's attention and lures it into a deep ditch. They manage to detonate an acid bomb, seemingly killing the creature and causing the mine to collapse. Inside the mine, they find the massive brain of the Yellow Queen, controlling the ant-like creatures. Despite the difficulty, Zach decides to kill the brain, which ultimately leads to the mine's collapse. Zach and Mickey escape back to the truck as the sole survivors of the team. The film ends with Mickey driving away, unaware that another queen brain is secretly loaded in the truck, leaving the audience with suspense and uncertainty.